Welcome to Buddhas in Your Landfill. I'm going to be doing a series of videos. I'm posting this on Facebook and then it will be on YouTube on how to find Buddhas in your landfill. Now, I live in a small town called Blackstone, Virginia, and I've been here since 1981. And this is my world. And I've discovered that there are diamonds in my backyard. So I'm going to be sharing with you in this video and future videos on how to find diamonds in your backyard. That was a book that inspired me years ago when I was a writer with the local paper. And my stories were about finding diamonds in my backyard. Writing about people who were singular jewels in their stories. And so since I left the paper, my spiritual practice of meditation, study, has taken me more inward to finding diamonds in my literal backyard, in my household, in my backyard, in my world. And it's not a very big world because I'm retired, I'm 81, and a big trip for me is going to Walmart. So where are the diamonds in Walmart? Where are the diamonds in mowing your yard? Where are the diamonds on the news, you see? So this is what I want to explore and share with you. Now, today I wanted to talk about a Buddha, because the title here, Buddhas in Your Landfill, this is a metaphor. What is a Buddha? What is a landfill? Well, I came up with this idea because some years ago, I had to take a pickup load of junk to the dump, and there was a weighing station there, and a fat little guy who was kind of like a Ganesh, a threshold guardian. He guarded the dump. And in the window, there was a bunch of things he had saved. There was some Mickey Mouse and dolls and whatnot. And in the corner was this muddy little figure, and I kind of looked at it from my truck window and says, damn, that's a Buddha. So I asked the guy, so how much can I buy that Buddha? And, well, okay. Yeah, I said, I'll give you $20. I don't know. So I said, well, let's go inside. So I went inside the shack. And there were some other fellas sitting in there. I think it was cold, and there was a little pot-bellied stove. And one of them, and I said, okay, what do you take for? And one of them said, what's a Buddha? And so I began to bargain with him, and I said, okay, I'll give you $40 for the Buddha. And he says, fine. So he it was all muddy, so I took him home. And the other fella said, the other fella said, how much is the Buddha worth? And I smiled and I said, $40. So here was the Buddha. It was a beautiful, I thought it might be ivory. And but it's got very finely cut teeth and pearls and everything. So this has been my landfill Buddha. And I have a lot of them. I seem to attract them. So this has become basically my metaphor of the Buddha in the landfill. Now, so my question is today that we're going to answer is what is a Buddha and how much is a Buddha worth? And first of all, the landfill is a metaphor for our modern world. It's fragmented. It's full of uncertainty. Nothing unifies. Nothing is certain. Everything is changing. Stress, tension is everywhere. We feel it. It's in the news. It's in ourselves. It's in relationships. It's in my relationship with myself. Stress, tension, dis-ease. So a Buddha, when you find a Buddha, first of all, a Buddha is going to be a discovery, and a Buddha is also going to be a surprise, just like it was a surprise and a discovery when I found this Buddha in the landfill. So you come upon a Buddha. You come upon a diamond in your backyard. You didn't know it was there. You stumble upon it. So a Buddha also creates ease out of dis-ease. So you find a Buddha when you need one. You find a Buddha when you are out of sorts, confused, can't figure it out, lost, exiled, struggling. I don't know what the answer is. What should I do? What do I know? What all that. Then when you find that Buddha, it's kind of like a pearl or a diamond that integrates you in the world. So the reason we are fragmented, the reason we are out of sorts, lost, exiled, is because we are separated from the world, and the world is confusing and broken. It's kind of like a dish you throw on the ground. It's all broken. How do you put it back together again? How do you put Humpty Dumpty back together again, you see? Well, you put it back together through a Buddha. Now again, this is a metaphor, and I'm not talking about a religion. I'm not a Buddhist. I practice the Dharma of Buddha, which is basically like science of the mind. It's not a religion, and I certainly am not a Buddhist, and I don't recommend Buddhism. So I speak in metaphors, in the sense that the Buddha is pointing to something that is in you, that is in your yard, but you have to discover it. It's going to be a surprise. So when you discover a Buddha, it brings ease out of dis-ease, unity out of disunity, and restores your soul. So let's talk just a minute about when I use the word soul. This is not a religious term for me. It just means the unified you, the whole you, the complete you, the you that has no second, the you that is not divided, the you that is your original face. So this soul, you see, is not something, but it is you as the knower of you, the you that is the awakened you. So these little Buddhas are everywhere that we stumble upon and find. And so they are invaluable. How much is a Buddha worth? You see, there is no price tag. There is no price tag. And what is a Buddha? There is no way to know. Because the Buddha has to be discovered. The Buddha has to be a surprise. And a discovery and a surprise is a surprise because you don't know what it is. When you get a box and you open it up, oh, a surprise. I didn't know what was in there. So that's what I mean when I say a Buddha. You have to stumble upon this jewel that will unify for a moment, for a time. This is not permanent. It's just like when you discover how to fix the other day. Yesterday, okay. I had been, my lawnmower was going to mow the lawn, and the lawnmower has been very hard to start. I would punch it, the little choke bubble there, to give it some starting gas, and then I would have to yank it about 10 times before it started. And I thought I was going to have to get it fixed. And so a friend of mine came over yesterday and wanted to mow the lawn, and I thought that was kind of like Tom Sawyer, I said, well, okay, if you insist, I'll let you mow the lawn, And then I said, well, the lawnmower's really hard to start. So but when I started pushing I thought, well, maybe I haven't been pushing that little enough. So I pushed it 5 extra times to prime it. And I yanked that cord, and it started, bam, like that. Oh, all the time I thought I was going to have to take it to get it fixed. And all I needed to do was push that little primer 4 more times. And the lawnmower started immediately. Bam, you see. That was the little Buddha in the way I'm talking about it. And it taught me that so much of my life has been a problem. My problems are always hidden by an assumption. So I assumed that the lawnmower needed fixing, and I was looking on the internet for the various causes for the slow starting lawnmower, and I was getting ready to take it apart and go to the store, but there were no parts, and yada, yada, yada. And all I needed to do was push that little button 4 more times. And bam, it started perfectly. So, I hope you join me in these videos I'll be doing as we explore the ways to find Buddhas in your landfill, in your world, in your everyday mind. And so please share. This is Facebook Live, so please share. And if on YouTube, please subscribe. And let's share this dialogue. And let's bring comments in so we can explore together how to find Buddhas in our landfill and how to turn dis-ease into ease. Thank you for dropping in. Now I have to walk up here and turn this off because I'm here by myself, and I hope I don't hit the tripod.